Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the Screen Team. My name is Chris. I'll be doing the hosting duties for this evening's show as we review some movies for you this evening. And here's what we have on tap just for you. I don't know if you're into horror movies. I don't know if you're into movies about clowns. If you're not, you might not want to tune in later on with our show because we're going to be reviewing the brand new It movie. And, of course, Stephen King film. Was a big made-for-TV show back in the late 1980s. Now it's coming to theater, and it looks scary as all get out. We're going to have Tracy tell us all the details in just a bit. We're also going to be reviewing the movie Passengers with Chris, not Pine. It's one of the Chris's. The guy, Star-Lord.
Yes. Does it say?
It doesn't say.
It does. Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. I was close. There was a P in his last name. Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. So we'll be reviewing Passengers here in just a bit. But first up, we've got a movie called Life. And we've got Tracy to help us with the reviews for this evening. First off, Tracy, it's been a while since we've seen you. How are things going in your world, man? How are things going?
Things are going great. I'm staying busy. I feel like I'm making a positive change in the community, and I have a new grandbaby on the way.
Oh, congratulations, man. That's going to be awesome. A brand new screen teamer.
I'm not going to give any spoilers on the gender, but due in February.
Yeah, congratulations. That is so cool. That is Life in its purest form, and we're going to be talking about a movie called Life, but it's a different kind of life.
Oh, definitely. I hope so.
The Life we're talking about is a movie that is set in outer space. We've got Ryan Reynolds. We've got Jake Gyllenhaal. We've got this whole crew of people. They're in space, and what's their main objective here? They're trying to find life on other planets, basically?
Yeah, I believe so. And they're super excited about finding... His name was Calvin, wasn't it?
Calvin was the name of the life, yeah.
Yeah, which was very cool to start out with. Just grew and interacted and acted all seemingly innocent and nice. And
yeah.
I forgot the name of the character that interacts the most with Calvin and sort of bonds with him.
He's one of the scientists on the ship, and he's just like, he's so astounded by him, and they're making this really deep connection or whatever. And some of the other people on the spaceship are like, been spending a little too much time with Calvin there. You might want to come back to reality, you know? So,
which makes the events all that more heartbreaking whenever Calvin attacks.
And Calvin does attack. I don't think we're giving too much away because you see a lot of this stuff in the trailer. Calvin is not. He's out for Calvin. He's not out for anybody else. He's out for Calvin, and he puts a mutiny on the rest of the space people. So that's our basic premise. We've got Calvin versus all the other astronauts, and they're going up against each other here. So, what were your initial thoughts, Tracy? Was Life a movie that you liked?
I did like it. It did kind of follow the standard space movie, formula set out by Aliens. Sort of very reminiscent of Ridley Scott's Aliens.
Right.
They're so isolated, and they're trying to make sure that this creature doesn't come back and infect Earth, and that's their main objective: stop it from getting to Earth while trying to live. And of course, there's the twist, because things don't go as they plan.
They never do.
But they did a good job of building up the suspense. Calvin's right there, and can you get away in time? And they did a good job with that. And a few times you were rooting for everybody because he gets shot out into space, but always finds his way back in.
Yeah. What I liked about this movie, I liked the cinematography of it. I thought it was shot beautifully. I thought some of the special effects were gorgeous as well. I'm always a knocker of CGI, but it really felt like you were out in outer space, and all the space stations that they were at and all the contraptions that they were driving and flying. They were just beautiful and gorgeous. And, it was almost in the same kind of vein as Gravity, the movie with Sandra Bullock. I thought it was beautiful. I thought the acting was good too. Ryan Reynolds is in the film, and Ryan is usually a, hey, look at me, I'm Ryan Reynolds kind of guy. And he had that kind of smart aleck type of personality, but it was very, very subdued in this film.
What got me was in the trailers, at least I took it to mean that Ryan Reynolds was the main character. Not the case. If you haven't seen it, he's not the main character.
Right.
He's one of the first to go.
Yeah, he's a side character. Yeah, for sure. Jake Gyllenhaal's in it as well.
It makes sense because he's the levity guy. And once he's gone, all pretense at levity is gone. Now it's suspense. Now it's kill or be killed.
Yeah. What'd you think about Jake Gyllenhaal? Did you like he was like the doctor on the ship, right?
Yeah, I really did like him. He had a background story that I don't remember the details of it, but he didn't want to go back. He didn't fit in anymore. I think it was he'd been in the Army and he just didn't.
Yeah, he liked outer space. He didn't want to go home. He's like, no, I'm good here. I'm good.
Which makes the ending all the more interesting.
Yeah.
So can we spoil that for people?
No, let's not spoil that for people. We'll just watch it if you're into it, man. Definitely rent it. But I was the one thing that I did not like about this movie, Tracy, and you kind of hit on it, was it followed the same formula as Alien.
Yeah.
It felt like I was watching Ridley Scott's Alien. And not that that's a bad thing, but it's like I've already seen that movie. I wanted to see something a little different, and there are tinges of differences between the two movies, but a lot of it felt the same to me.
It kind of made it almost predictable. You
Right.
knew if they took a step forward, there was going to be 2 steps back.
Right.
There was no, well, where did that come from? Because you already knew it was coming.
Right. So my suggestion would be, if you really wanted to see Life, I say go ahead and go see it. But if you're on the fence about it, I'd say just rent Alien and be good with it. What do you say, Tracy?
If you're looking for Ryan Reynolds, don't bother. The trailer shows everything he has to offer.
It's true, man. The movie's called Life. It stars Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal and Rebecca Ferguson, and it's out on DVD. Coming up in just a few more segments, we'll be reviewing the new horror film It. I'm scared. I got my hair standing up, so we'll let you know how that is. We'll also be talking about Passengers. It's coming your way next on the Screen Team, and we want you to know before you go.